I was at a listing, and the husband and wife were doing the duck and weave, where you'd be there and you're trying to get them to sign, then suddenly the wife would have to leave the room and go take a shower. And then the next time I went to meet with them, then the husband wasn't there, and the wife was saying, "Oh yeah, you're going to do it for 5%." So I said to her, and we couldn't nail down the price either. So I said, "Okay, we've got a price. We've got two things we need to talk about." But I normally don't work in this price range. I need to charge a higher price, a higher commission. And she's like, "I think we're going to have to do it the way we're going to have to do it." So then I met a third time, and the husband, and I sat down with him. I said, "Listen, I need to charge a higher rate. This is where I work." And he goes, "Okay." So I went up an entire percent just by telling him that, just sticking to it. So that's my success.
I think the moral of that story is, if you don't ask, you don't get.
Well, I had an appointment last Friday with someone, and I had asked him before I went if he was meeting with anybody else, and he said no. But when I got there, he told me he had already met with somebody else, and he had met with someone, a well-known agent from Realty USA, who had told him right off the bat that she would charge him 5%. And I worked with him. He said, "I don't really need to see all of your company information. She's already brought everything, and I know what you're going to tell me." And so I was there for 2 hours, and he wanted to think about it, and he called me this morning and decided to go with me. And I did go down to 5%.
Yeah. Good for you. Good.
Al.
Hi, Al.
Real quick, I had a sign call on a listing that I have, and the guy asked about it. I filled him in really briefly. The property's pending. I told him that. I asked him if I could help him find another house if he's working with an agent, and he said, "I have my house listed and I have an agent." And I said, "Is he helping you find a house?" He said, "No, he's not doing blank for me." So at that point, he just started rambling on and telling me that the house was overpriced. He's not marketing. He's not doing anything. Could I look at the listing and give him an idea of how the pricing was? I told him yes. I called him back the following day. I told him I looked at it. We should sit down and meet. I met with him Saturday. We sat for almost 3 hours in his garage, and I brought a blank listing with me. I told him what I was going to do, and we agreed to sign the listing, and it's a $350,000 listing. Wow. I told him 7%. His father said to me, no. I said, well, look at what's going on now. For $3,500, is it worth having me or staying with the guy you have? They went for 7%. I pulled out a blank contract. I put his name on it, my name on it, the price and the address, and he signed the entire thing.
Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
Good morning, everybody. I just had a great week. Yeah, I had 3 buyer listings, 2 buyer sales, 2 property listings, wow, and 1 48 buyer sale. I did prospect with the group, made about 6 phone calls. One of them was to a past seller from about 9 years ago who keeps talking about moving but hasn't. And when she picked up the phone, she said, "Oh my God, we were just sitting here saying we need to get our kid into Britton Hill schools. We're ready." I went, okay, so I'm going to meet them to list.
Wow, I love it.
I had 6 price reductions this week. Had to work on them for a little bit. One was a relatively new listing that's been listed for just 2 weeks, but they were motivated. I said, this is the time to get them down. And I also had a new listing and got 2 buyer clients.
I had a good week. I took 3 listings. One of my listings I just took, we went in multiple offers and got under contract. I had a buyer agency agreement signed. I got a one-time showing agreement. What else did I do? One ancillary, I got an Apple referral. But my bigger thing was listening to the CD with the addiction to avoidance behavior. And I didn't think that was me until I listened to it and realized it was me. And then, but I met my goals already, but I didn't make my calls. So I kept replaying how, we all hugged, we promised, and I listened to the CD. So I only had one appointment scheduled, and I was deciding if I'm going to let my team down and tell them I only have one appointment or just pick up the phone. And I picked up the phone and made 2 appointments, phone going like that. Wasn't as bad as I thought. So for me, that was like the biggest hurdle, but I had a pretty good week.
Just love to hear these success stories.
Dennis Evans. Yes. What a friendly group. Last week I was able to take 2 listings, and then the one listing was having a garage sale, so I figured I'd stop by, give some flyers, put a couple calendars out on the table so when people were coming by, maybe they would pick up the phone and call me. One of the people that was at the garage sale turned around and said to me, "Oh, you're the realtor here. I want to list my house as well." Wow. So I was able to do that, and over the last year, 5 garage sales. I've taken 5 different listings over the last 12 months. Maybe an unusual approach, but something a little different.
Nice.
And then I met with unusual. So I took those as 5 appointments. No, no. Anyway, and then we were able last night to get 3 price reductions. So it's been a fairly decent week. We definitely want to fill back up because we've had a lot of sales over the last month or so. Since coming to the meeting, we actually had a 7-day period and sold six homes in 7 days. Wow. So we're trying to fix and try to get listings back up again.
All right.